All right, Shalom, Shalom. Kahalayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, the bonus to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that rule each well. Most peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity of heart. Shalom. This is the brother Batak back again through the spirit with another lesson. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. The title of this lesson is "The Earth will continue to wax worse and worse." So this article came out a couple days ago, and there is going to be a very big LGBTQ festival held in Western Asia for a couple of days. And this is just another example on why this world is heading towards perdition. The Most High created male and female to be with each other and to procreate. And this world has pushed a different type of vibration influence on the world. They are proud of committing acts of sin that is against the God of the Bible. Leviticus 20:13, it says, "If a man also lie with mankind as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them." So the true God of the Bible, whose true name is Yahweh, is against this type of activity. And this is another reason why Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities were destroyed. This is the book of Genesis 13 and verse 10. It says, "And Lot lifted up his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him a plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves, the one from the other. Abram dwelled in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelled in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent toward Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before Yahweh exceedingly." What is this? What is sin? Is transgression of the law. Transgression law. 1 John 3 and 4, it says, "Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law." So the people in Sodom were breaking the laws, of statutes, and the commandments of the Lord. And what were they doing? Transgression means disobedience to the Most High's law. Sin, transgression, a going over or going across, to go beyond. See, the law limits certain activities, and basically what they're doing is going beyond the law. Disobedience to a human law or rule, a spreading. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. So they're going over the limitations that the Most High placed and put in place. Men don't supposed to lie with men, and women do not supposed to lie with women. It's against nature. The Most High created everything in order, and they are pushing the world toward disorder, pushing the world against or away from the Most High and how He created things to be. So that's the point. The people of Sodom were wicked, and ultimately the Most High destroyed that place with fire and brimstone. And the same way that America, that same way that Sodom and Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah were in the different cities were destroyed. It's the same way America is going to be destroyed. This is the book of Genesis 19 and 24. It says, then Yahweh rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven. See? So America is known as Sodom and Egypt in the scriptures. So Sodom and Egypt, which is America of today, is going to face the same judgment that ancient Sodom and Gomorrah faced, which is fire and brimstone. The Lord created fire and brimstone and rained it upon those men that was doing ungodly acts. You know, Psalms 11 and 6, it says, upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and the horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. See? So the Most High is going to rain upon Edom, he identifies as the wicked, because they do wicked acts that are against the Most High. They break the laws. You know, a lot of these rulers are sodomites, man. They promote this type of activity, and they put it in shows. They're making this society and the whole world accept this type of activity, and it's getting to a point where you can't say nothing against these people. It says Israel is preparing to host a new event called PL, describing it as the largest LGBTQ plus festival ever held in the Middle East. See? So the Most High is not pleased with this. And these people claiming that they're the people of the Lord. It's the book of Deuteronomy 29 and 23. It says, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nor bread, nor beareth, nor any grass groweth therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, which Yahweh overthrew in his anger and in his wrath. So brimstone, that land is basically a desert today. You know, nothing grows there. And that's the same way that America's going to be once the Most High rain fire and brimstone on this place. It is the book of Isaiah 13 and 19. This is the point. This is this whole chapter is about the destruction. It says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, which Babylon is America. The glory of kingdoms, this America is the place that everybody want to go to, that everybody loves. You see? She's the glory of kingdoms. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. The Chaldees are like the wisest of Babylon. It says in excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. See? So the Most High is going to overthrow Babylon like he overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now you may ask yourself, if you think that's talking about ancient Babylon, you can go on ChatGPT or go to Google and see when did that happen, because you know that never happened to ancient Babylon. Let's go to Google. Did ancient Babylon be destroyed By fire? Let me see what it says. They better not be. All right, it says ancient Babylon was not destroyed by a single catastrophic fire, but declined over centuries through abandonment, neglect, and partial destruction. Hold on, let's see. Nebuchadnezzar. All right, it says no. The Neo-Babylonian capital of Babylon was not destroyed by fire, but rather conquered in 539 BCE when Persian king Cyrus the Great took the city. He diverted the Euphrates River to enter without battle, allowing him to take control without looting. See? So this never happened in ancient Babylon. So has this happened yet? The answer is no. There was gonna be another Babylon. Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. Babylon comes from the Hebrew word Babal, which means confusion, and that's exactly what America is based on. It's confusion. People don't know. People believe in whatever. There's more than one gender, according to some people. That's nothing but confusion. A man could be a man and a woman. A man could be a woman and a woman could be a man in this society. What is that? Confusion. Let's look up the word confusion. Let's look up the word confusion. Confusion. It says overthrow, ruin, disorder. Ooh, disorder. That's a good one. It says confusion, disorder, disorder. Perturbation of the mind, mental perplexity, a disorderly mingling state of being mixed together. I like the word disorder. Disorder. Destroy or derange the order of. Throw into confusion. See? So the word confusion goes back to the word disorder, which the world is in disorder. Isaiah 13:19, it says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, which is what we just got. By fire and brimstone. I'm sorry. See? This is the book of Jeremiah 50 and 40. It says, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, said Yahweh, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein, which is talking about America. This place is going to be turned into a desert. You see, ain't nobody going to live here. You're not going to be able to live on this land because it's going to be so polluted. The scriptures tell you about wormwood, which is what? Radiation. You can't live on a land that's radiated. That has a lot of high levels of radiation. Let's go to Google. After a nuclear catastrophe, nuclear detonation, can you live on that land? If not, why? All right. It says immediately after a nuclear detonation, the area near ground zero is absolutely uninhabitable due to intense heat, blast destruction, and extreme radiation, making survival impossible. While most radiation decays within weeks, high level contamination and structural destruction usually render the area unlivable for months to years, depending on the blast yield. So, as you can see, it's accurate because nobody's going to live in this land because it's going to be polluted. And also, the Lord don't want nobody living here. It's gonna be a land that's never going to be inhabited anymore. Only different creatures and animals are going to get the opportunity to live here. So let's go to Sodom. And the whole world is following after this. Revelations 11 and verse 8, it says, and their dead bodies, which are talking about the Israelites that are the dead, so-called dead Israelites, the ones that are spiritually dead, not physically dead. Those that didn't, our people didn't know who we were. We didn't know our heritage. We didn't know that we was, Israelites and things of that nature. So we was those, those dry bones. So, spiritually dead, not knowing who we were and not knowing the truth. So it says, and their dead bodies, talking about the Israelites, shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom, which we know why it's called Sodom, because America was the first. What was the first country to legalize gay marriage? I stand corrected. Let's see, hold on. Okay, apparently, according to Google, it was the Netherlands. I thought America was the first country, but I stand corrected. All right, it says same-sex sexual activity was decriminalized nationwide in the U.S. on June 26th, 2003. I guess that's why June is a Pride Month. I guess that's why. This is when the Supreme Court ruled in a blah, blah, blah. Ruled in Lawrence versus Texas that sodomy laws were unconstitutional, while Illinois first decriminalized homosexuality in 1962. Blah, blah, blah. Same-sex marriage was later legalized nationwide in 2025. The Supreme Court in blah, 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 that same-sex marriage is legal in all 50 states. This happened in 2025. 2015. The Respect for Marriage Act is signed into law, requiring federal recognition of same-sex marriages across all states. What country? All right, various countries and regions have significantly influenced the historical understanding, acceptance, or suppression of homosexuality. Key influences include ancient Greece and Rome for early acceptance, the Ottoman Empire for tolerance, Germany for modern LGBT rights movement, and European colonial powers for extorting homophobic laws. Ancient Greece and Rome, these societies are often cited for having accepted and in some contexts celebrated same-sex relationships, particularly between men. Is that coincidence? America is what? It's a lot of their roots is from Greek and Roman culture, right? Because America's Rome all over again. See? So it's the same people back doing the same thing, man, America is Rome all over again, So, just wanted to give you a couple examples to see why America is called Sodom. And Egypt is, because America is patterned after ancient Egypt in many ways, and Easter is one of them. Ancient Egypt, you got Memphis, Tennessee, and inside Memphis, Tennessee, you have a pyramid. Does the pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee have a connection to ancient Egypt? Let's see what it says. Voila. Yes, the Memphis Pyramid in Tennessee has a direct symbolic connection to ancient Egypt. It was built in 1991 as a nod to its namesake, the ancient Egyptian capital of Memphis, which is famous for the Giza pyramids and its location on the Nile River. The city of Memphis, Tennessee sits on the Mississippi River, often referred to as the American Nile. You think things are done by coincidence? This is just one example of why America is basically Egypt all over again. Why did they do this? Why did they name a city Memphis, Tennessee, and also within that city put a pyramid there wrapped by a main river, which is the Mississippi, and they call it America's Nile River? Why? Because it was patterned after ancient Egypt. Okay, Washington, D.C. connection to ancient Egypt. Or was it Rome? I'll say Washington, D.C. features significant intentional connections to ancient Egyptian architecture and symbolism, often referred to as Egypt on the Potomac, intended to represent permanence and power. Key examples include the Washington Monument, the House of the Temple, featuring Egyptian I'm not even gonna try it. It says in various architectural details such as lotus columns embedded through the city's design by early planners and masons. So, culture, Egyptomania. It says the adoption of Egyptian symbols such as pyramids and obelisks was a broader American phenomenon that sought to invoke the permanence and stability of the ancient civilization. Egyptomania. Egyptomania in Americas is a long-standing fascination with ancient Egyptian culture, influencing U.S. architecture, art, and design for the centuries. So, there you go. Sodom and Egypt. So, I don't know where that article went at. Okay. Let's see. So, you see, well, I'm pretty sure y'all seen the article that I don't know where it's at now. I don't want to go looking for it. I'm about to close it out anyway. So, this is just another example why we need salvation and this earth needs new management. So, let's close it out with this. Let the filthy be filthy still. Here it is. Revelations 22, and I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, and he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he that is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. So we are modifying our works so we can be able to escape the evil that's going to befall this world, because the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to bring judgment, and we don't want to be caught up. We don't want to be caught up in all of this this filth that's going on out here. And that's why we must mortify and return and do what's right in the eyes of the Lord, so we can so we can escape damnation. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna close out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, double honor to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Much peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing His word in truth and sincerity. I'm gonna say Shalom, Kwame Sha'Allah, Wa Abab, Shalom.